Looks like GloRilla has landed herself in hot water once again. Explosive new footage has surfaced, showing the Memphis rap star face-to-face with a police officer, and the internet can't stop buzzing. Shockwaves are ripping through fans and critics alike, and this might just be her most controversial moment yet.
What are we doing?
Turn around for me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take the teeth. I'm gonna take the teeth.
That doesn't change anything. You still are going to be arrested.
Word on the streets as GloRilla's simple run-in with the law quickly spiraled into a fiery clash with a cop. The burning question, what really went down, and just how far did it go? Stick around, because we're unpacking the full story behind GloRilla's criminal chronicles and legal nightmares. When you rise from the Memphis trenches and turn into one of hip-hop's hottest names, the streets don't just let you walk away clean. For Gloria Hallelujah Woods, better known to the world as GloRilla, the climb from hustling in healthcare to Grammy-nominated rap royalty has been anything but smooth. And her first real brush with the law? It wasn't over petty rap beef or studio drama, it was the kind of headline that comes from one reckless move. April 16, 2024. Just before sunrise in Sewanee, Georgia, Gwinnett County officers pulled her over for making an illegal U-turn at a red light. What should have been nothing more than a routine traffic stop took a dangerous turn when police noticed something wasn't right. Hours later, the body cam footage would drop, exposing a young queen caught between fame, pressure, and dangerously poor choices. "Let me just ask you a few questions," the officer began. "How many drinks have you had tonight?" GloRilla shrugged it off, cool as ever, "I'm good. I ain't drunk or nothing." But her glassy eyes told a different story. The smell of alcohol and smoke lingered heavy. And then, the one line that never ends well, "Don't you know who I am? I'm on your TV." That single moment turned a traffic stop into a full-blown lesson, proof that fame can fool you into thinking you're untouchable, until the truth hits harder than any beat you ever dropped. Fame has a funny way of tricking you into thinking you're untouchable, even when the world can clearly see you fumbling. The sobriety tests? A complete train wreck. She stumbled trying to walk the line, wobbled while balancing on one leg, and failed every single check. When it came time for the breathalyzer, GloRilla flat out refused, "Hell no." And just like that, the situation went from bad to worse. The body cam caught her asking the officers if they even knew who she was. At least she kept her tone calm, but the damage was already done. A quick search of her car revealed weed and an open liquor bottle, stacking more charges on top of her already heavy list. The arrest was swift, the cuffs locked, and there was no talking her way out this time. By morning, GloRilla was booked into Gwinnett County Detention Center. She posted nearly $2,000 in bond and walked free the same day, but the charges weren't light. Each one carried the power to drain her pockets and snatch her freedom. A DUI alone could have landed her behind bars for a year, with a $1,000 fine and her license gone. The open container charge tacked on extra penalties, and the traffic violation didn't make things any easier. And in Georgia, refusing that breath test? Automatic license suspension, sometimes up to 3 years. The strangest part? Even now, more than a year later, the case is still in limbo. No conviction, no plea, no closure. Legal insiders say DUI cases can drag for months, but this silence feels like something bigger. Maybe it's stalled negotiations, or maybe the whole thing's being buried out of sight. But here's the kicker, that April 2024 arrest was just the prologue. The real storm hit in July 2025. That's when GloRilla's name was thrown into a whirlwind that made fans question not just her choices, but how the justice system itself sets its priorities. It was just after 1:30 a.m. on a late Saturday night in Forsyth County, Georgia. GloRilla was out in Indianapolis, lighting up the WNBA All-Star Game halftime show. But while she was on stage entertaining thousands, danger was breaking into her own front door back home. 3 masked suspects stormed her house, knowing she wouldn't be there. Family members were inside and left terrified as the intruders ransacked the place, swiping pricey jewelry and valuables. When things escalated, gunfire rang out, shots fired, suspects scrambling, fleeing before anyone could be harmed. Police combed the scene, collected forensic evidence, and launched a full investigation. But to this day, the burglars remain ghosts. A chilling reminder that even when fame puts you on the brightest stage, the shadows still follow you home. What happened next set the entire hip-hop scene on fire, and not in a good way. Cops rolled in to check the break-in, but instead of chasing down the masked invaders, their noses caught something else, the smell of loud. Within minutes, the regional drug task force was on the scene, flipping her home upside down. And what they claimed to find had everybody gasping: a stash of marijuana, allegedly up to 2 pounds, tucked inside the master bedroom closet, plus a dab of THC wax, the kind of charge that turns a rapper's life into a nightmare. GloRilla's lawyers weren't having it. They clapped back, saying the so-called stash was nothing but a small personal amount. Still, the charges hit like a sledgehammer. In Georgia, anything over 1 ounce isn't just possession, it's a felony that can snatch a decade of your life and $5 grand out your pocket. And that wax? Even worse, a Schedule 1 charge with prison time stretching up to 15 years and fines that could cripple an empire. On July 22, 2025, GloRilla surrendered herself, facing not 1 but 2 felonies. She posted a $22,260 bond and walked free the same day, but the damage was already done. The streets erupted. Fans screamed injustice. And GloRilla herself let her fury spill online. My home gets invaded, shots fired, my family traumatized, and somehow I'm the only one in handcuffs over some weed? Her legal dream team, Drew Finling and Marissa Goldberg, went in harder. They blasted the arrest as proof of a broken system, one that let armed criminals slip into the shadows while the victim became the suspect. But the sheriff doubled down, insisting laws had to be enforced, even against the victim. That only fueled the outrage, with the community demanding answers about priorities that seemed upside down. And here's the wild part: this mess is only one chapter in her storm. Behind the flashing lights and court dates lies a twisted tale of feuds, betrayals, and alliances in the cutthroat world of female rap. Because in this game, friends flip, enemies plot, and survival isn't just about bars, it's about knowing who's really in your corner when the bullets fly. They say the streets never miss a beat, and when it came to GloRilla, every friendship, every fallout, and every shady move was put under a microscope. But the biggest heartbreak didn't come from enemies, it came from the one person she thought would never switch, her ride or die, Gloss Up. These two weren't just collaborators, they were sisters in arms. Memphis queens rising from the mud together, pushing each other through sleepless nights and celebrating every little win side by side. Matching tattoos, collab hits, late-night studio runs, this was a bond that looked unbreakable. Until fame came knocking. When the spotlight started burning brighter on GloRilla, whispers of tension began to leak out. Subtle shade on social media, awkward pauses in interviews, and comments that cut deeper than they seemed. Gloss Up, once her loudest cheerleader, started hinting at feeling misunderstood, even dismissed. By mid-2024, the cracks weren't cracks anymore, they were earthquakes. Gloss fighting back tears in interviews, frustrated that her sis wasn't showing up for her the way she used to. And by summer, the friendship that once felt legendary was now on life support. Then the bombshell dropped: betrayal. Word spread that Gloss had allegedly run her mouth to JT about GloRilla's behind-the-scenes plans, sparking accusations of backstabbing and disloyalty that the internet ate up like wildfire. But this wasn't just about friendship. This was about industry chess moves, label politics, and survival in a business where one wrong alliance can cost you everything. With Gloss Up's own career hitting turbulence, and QC Music cutting ties with her at the worst possible time, the fallout became the perfect storm of personal pain and professional sabotage. By the summer of 2025, the streets were buzzing louder than ever. The fallout between GloRilla and Gloss Up wasn't just whispers anymore, it exploded into the open when one of GloRilla's own dancers jumped online and aired everything out. She called Gloss a traitor, dragging her QC ties into the mix, and the internet went into full meltdown mode. What followed was nothing short of a social media war. Accusations flew, receipts got posted, and the kind of private conversations that used to happen behind closed doors were now out for millions to see. Gloss fired back in an emotional interview, swearing she wasn't jealous but admitting that the distance between her and Glo was very real. The pain was written all over her face, but at that point, the damage was irreversible. What once looked like the definition of hip-hop sisterhood had officially turned into a cautionary tale. But GloRilla's friendship drama didn't stop there. Even her bond with Megan Thee Stallion, a relationship that seemed bulletproof, got tested. The two had shared major wins together, from their joint hit Wannabe in 2024 to tearing up stages on the Hot Girl Summer Tour. Fans thought they were locked in for life. Then May 2025 hit, and one Instagram story changed everything. GloRilla reposted an inspirational quote, but with Tory Lanez's track W playing in the background. The same Tory Lanez convicted of shooting Megan back in 2020. Whether it was intentional shade or just bad timing, the optics were brutal. Within hours, Megan unfollowed Glo and wiped a birthday tribute clean off her page. The message? Loud and clear. For a moment, it looked like another female rap alliance was crumbling in real time. Luckily, Glo moved quick to clean it up. She deleted the post, explained it was an innocent mistake, and within 24 hours the two were back following each other. Crisis averted, at least on the surface. But the most unpredictable relationship in GloRilla's career? That crown goes to her roller coaster saga with JT from the City Girls. That bond has been a constant mix of beefs, makeups, and messy rumors, from whispers of a physical clash at the 2023 VMAs, to online shade, to supposed altercations that both camps denied but fans never stopped dissecting. With Glo and JT, the line between friend and enemy is so thin, nobody ever knows what side they'll be on next. The drama with JT reached its boiling point in late 2024. After GloRilla mentioned slapping rap beat *********** in a verse, JT fired back online, confirming that something had gone down between them. Glo tried to keep it diplomatic, saying, "Me and JT ain't the best of friends, but we ain't beefing. I just pray one day all the bad best come together, cause Nicki on the track will break some records." But JT wasn't having it. She felt like Glo was trying to play both sides, admitting there was tension while pretending everything was cool. What followed was classic modern-day hip-hop beef, subs on Twitter, IG shade, and fan armies choosing sides, turning a personal disagreement into a full-on spectacle. Then came the twist. By November 2024, the two surprised everybody by publicly squashing the beef. Glo downplayed it, saying the whole feud had been fan-driven, that the internet exaggerated what was really just miscommunication. It was the fans, for real. Super unnecessary. That moment highlighted a bigger truth about today's hip-hop culture, the way social media fuels and magnifies every slight, every lyric, every look. Artists like Glo find themselves trapped between fan expectations and street credibility, forced to perform their friendships, or their feuds, for the timeline. And yet, as messy as all the relationship drama gets, it's only one layer of GloRilla's story. Behind the IG unfollows and Twitter fingers lies something far darker. Because while fame opened doors for Glo, it also came with devastating tragedies, political firestorms, and conspiracy theories that questioned whether her success was even hers to begin with. The most heartbreaking example came on March 5, 2023, at the Main Street Armory in Rochester, New York. What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into a nightmare that would change how the entire industry looks at concert safety forever. The Main Street Armory in Rochester, New York, was a 5,000-capacity venue, and on March 5, 2023, it hosted GloRilla and Finesse 2 times. About 3,900 fans showed up, technically under capacity, but still enough to create bottlenecks at the exits. On paper, security looked solid: 40 private guards, 15 venue staff, and 8 Rochester police officers stationed outside. Everything seemed set for a regular night of hip-hop. But what should have been a celebration turned into a nightmare. As the show wound down near 10:40 p.m., nearly 200 people with VIP passes tried to push past security into the foyer, clogging the exits. Around 11 p.m., as fans began leaving, panic broke out. Rumors of gunshots, never confirmed, spread through the crowd, possibly triggered by stage effects, arguments, or just sheer paranoia. Within seconds, a stampede began. The human cost was devastating. 3 women lost their lives: 33-year-old Rondisha Belton from Buffalo, 35-year-old Brandy Miller from Rochester, and 35-year-old Aisha Stevens Haskins from Syracuse. 7 others were rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Each victim left behind families, dreams, and futures cut short, all because of chaos that didn't have to happen. GloRilla herself tweeted shortly after midnight, "I'm just now hearing about what happened. WTF. Praying everybody is okay." But condolences couldn't undo the damage. The investigation painted a chilling picture. There had been no gunfire at all. Looks
only
like GloRilla has
misinformation,
landed herself in hot water
and
once
possibly
again. Pepper spray or panic Explosive
signals
new
that
footage
spiraled
has
out of
surfaced,
control.
showing the Memphis rap
Attendees
star
later
face to
described
face
the
with a
venue as
police
a death
officer,
trap with
and
fake
the internet
cameras,
can't
no
stop
working
buzzing.
surveillance,
And a history of
Shockwaves are ripping
violations,
through fans
including
and
a
critics
stage
alike,
collapse just
and
a
this
year
might
before.
just be her most controversial
The fallout
moment
was
yet.
swift. The Armory's entertainment license was revoked, and the venue was permanently shut down. What was supposed to be one of GloRilla's career milestones became forever tied to tragedy, a reminder of how quickly fame and celebration can be overshadowed by grief. The Main Street Armory was built to hold 5,000 people. That night, nearly 4,000 packed inside for GloRilla and Finesse 2 times. Under capacity, yes, but when panic struck, it didn't matter. 40 private guards, 10 venue staff, and even police outside made it look like everything was under control, until it wasn't. What began as music and celebration ended in horror. A deadly stampede ripped through the crowd. 3 women, mothers, daughters, friends, never made it home. Dozens more were rushed to hospitals. All because of whispers, rumors of gunshots that never even happened. A single spark of fear set off a tidal wave of chaos. Investigations later showed the venue was a death trap, fake cameras, broken systems, even a history of violations. The fallout was swift. Licenses revoked, the building sold off. But for the grieving families, no money and no apology could fill the empty chairs left behind. Lawsuits piled up, lawyers circled, and GloRilla's name was dragged straight into the courtroom. Her career was now shadowed by tragedy. Every performance, every headline, carried the weight of unanswered questions. Who failed that night? Who's truly to blame? And then, another twist. GloRilla at the White House, smiling with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. A historic moment turned sour when her refusal to publicly support Biden's re-election lit a firestorm of criticism. Was she ungrateful? Naive? Or simply refusing to be a political pawn? But the real storm was still coming. Conspiracy theories. Whispers of the Illuminati. Claims that her meteoric rise came with a blood price, that every gesture, every accessory, every lyric was proof of a sinister pact. From her name, Gloria Hallelujah, to her record deal, to her very success, critics spun it all into a tale of secret societies and sold souls. Whether you believe it or not, one thing is undeniable: GloRilla isn't just fighting legal battles or public opinion. She's battling the weight of a story bigger and darker than herself. GloRilla has never been shy about firing back at her critics, and when the wild Illuminati rumors came for her, she clapped back with sharp humor. Back in 2022, she laughed off the madness, telling fans to focus on their own side hustles instead of spreading delusional seeds about her soul being sold. It was funny, but you could hear the frustration, because these conspiracies weren't just baseless, they revealed how quick society is to attack a young black woman who rises too fast, too bright, and too bold. The truth is, while she was battling real industry issues, like royalty disputes with Hit Kid, intense contract drama with CMG, those genuine struggles were constantly drowned out by sensational myths that had nothing to do with reality. And just when it seemed she'd learned to tune out the noise, a whole new firestorm erupted. August 2024. GloRilla drops a preview of an unreleased track, and within hours, the internet is on fire. The reason? A single word. A slur. One that advocates for the disabled community immediately flagged as offensive and outdated. The backlash was instant, unforgiving, and loud. But unlike so many rappers who would have doubled down, GloRilla stunned everyone. She pulled the track, re-recorded it with fresh lyrics, and reposted it within days. The response flipped from outrage to respect almost overnight. Even her harshest critics admitted that was growth, that was maturity. The original lyric? Brutal. But in the new version, she found a way to keep the same energy, the same bite, without tearing anyone down. That move turned a near career-destroying scandal into a rare moment of redemption, especially powerful because it was Black disabled voices leading the conversation, not being silenced by it. And here's the most shocking part: through all of it, the lawsuits, the rumors, the politics, the conspiracies, and the controversies, GloRilla never lost her momentum. She kept dropping hits. She kept filling venues. She kept the spotlight even when it threatened to burn her. Love her or hate her, one thing is clear: GloRilla has turned surviving the storm into an art form. And if this wild ride has proven anything, it's that her story is far from over. Thank you for watching. Tap one of the videos on your screen right now, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.